Good morning, everybody. This is Mark Vines. Welcome to the Mark Vines Show. And today is November 3rd, 2020. And you know what that means. Today is Election Day, folks. Today is Election Day. It is game day. It is the day to get out and vote. If you have not done so, you need to do it immediately. This is the time that the Republicans are going to get out and are going to win this thing. We're going to push this all the way through. And we have to, because as you know, the country as we know it is in the lurch. This is not a dire warning. This is not being paranoia. This is not being a conspiracy theorist like the Democrats would like you to believe. It's the truth. It is the absolute truth. Folks, if Donald J. Trump does not win this election, you need to think about what lays in the balance. Now, we've talked about this before, but I'm going to just say it again. And let's just talk about the FBI side of this, for example. If Donald Trump does not win all of these investigations of the corruption in the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and all of the other organizations that have been violating the rights of American citizens now for the last 8 years, or I should say under the Obama years, and then leading into Donald Trump's nomination and then ultimate election, and what we've seen over the last 4 years, all of those investigations will go away, and you need to understand that. And we now know with the discovery of Hunter Biden's laptop, the extent, or at least you're getting a taste of the extent of the corruption that has been occurring under Biden and then ultimately under Obama. It's extensive. The public only knows a fraction of what is going on. It is much worse than you think that it is at this time. But keep in mind, folks, all of that goes away if Donald J. Trump does not get reelected. And you need to understand that. To me, personally, I think that's the biggest reason why he needs to be reelected. But there's other reasons as well. The economy. Of course, we could go through every single statistic that Donald J. Trump has put together, but it's phenomenal. The economic growth that we had, particularly for minorities, it was through the roof. Actually, it's the best that it's ever been in the history of the country. That's undeniable. Even Democrats don't deny that. But all of that will go away. Remember what I talked about yesterday. Joe Biden thinks that America is done, that we are moving into a dark winter. That's not me being a conspiracy theorist. Those are his words. Go back and look at the second presidential debate. He said, we are headed into a dark winter. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like wintertime. I don't like the darkness. I like the light. I like warmth. I like sunshine. I like fun. I like to enjoy myself. And I like to think that my future is bright. How about you? Do you get up in the morning and do you just say to yourself, God, I hope my day sucks? Is that what you do? Because that's not what I do. I just hope my day sucks. But when I listen to Joe Biden, that's what I hear. Your day is going to suck, and we're going to take things from you, and we're going to give it to other people. We're going to destroy your health care. We are going to reduce our military, and America is not the leader in the world. And everybody, he called us a laughingstock. Did you hear that the other day? He said America has become the laughingstock of the world. Is that right? Is that right, Joe? We are the laughingstock of the world? Is that why so many people are trying to come here? Hey, Joe, are you trying to emigrate to Canada, to Mexico, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, to Russia? Or how many people are emigrating out of this country to go to these countries, Joe? If we're a laughingstock. I go to Europe, and that's not what I hear. I was in Poland about a year or so ago, and I'll tell you what, they love Donald J. Trump, and they love America over there. So I don't know who you're talking about. Now, are there people over there that want Trump to tone it down? Are there people over there that don't like Trump? Yeah, there are people that don't like Trump over there. But you know what? I sit and I watch the news. It's funny. When I go to Europe and I sit in a hotel room and I watch the news, the European news, it's all one-sided. It is all CNN, and it's all anti-American. It's all anti-Trump all the time. No wonder there are, in fact, Europeans that don't want to be us and don't like Donald Trump because they only see what you provide them. They don't see the greatness that is this country. People come here to have operations. They do not go there to get operations, Joe. Maybe you weren't aware of that. And why is that, Joe? It's because we are a free society, capitalism, competition. We believe in producing great things. We believe in high standards. We want the best. We push for the best. And we create the best. That's what we do, Joe. That is America, and that is Americanism. And you don't like that. And that is why I believe, folks, that there's going to be a victory for Donald Trump today. He is going to win, and it's because Americans reject your darkness and your dark winter. People don't want it, Joe. They just don't. Now, why am I saying that? You know, what's funny is I mentioned yesterday, and I'm just going to tell this story again and continue on with some other experiences I had yesterday since yesterday's broadcast. I had to travel out to Ohio last week to do some business, and when I was in the airport, I was wearing my Make America Great hat, and my wife said to me, I wouldn't wear that hat if I was you. Are you asking for trouble? People are you're going to get attacked, you're going to get assaulted, you're going to be, it's just why do you do this to yourself? This is what she said to me. Of course, my first response to my wife was, I want you to listen to what you just said to me. That I can't go to the airport without wondering whether I'm going to be assaulted or demeaned or bullied because I support a particular candidate. When the hell did that start happening in this country? That I can't express my views without wondering if I'm going to be assaulted. Just listen to what you just said, and I want you to ask yourself if that is a country that you want to be a part of. They do that in third world countries. They do that in some countries. You can't wear the shirt or a hat of an opposing political candidate because it may cost you your life. Is that what we want to be, or do we want to have open, free expression? I know where I want to live, and I know that my ancestors fought for this country so we could have the right to express whatever we want to express. I should be able to say or do anything that I want as long as I'm not harming or hurting you. When did that change? Well, I'll tell you when it changed. When Democrats discovered violence, they've been reading the left-wing playbook manuals. They read about Karl Marx, Lenin, and all of those people and how they used violence. That's actually what the brown shirts did in the 1930s, bringing the Nazis to power. They used violence. We do not use violence. We use the vote. That is what we do. Now, having said that, have you seen most of these liberals? I told my wife this. Have you seen these people? I am not worried about any of them assaulting me. They can't fight. They are the kids that got bullied on the playground growing up. They were the kids that couldn't get a date if they tried. I'm not worried about them assaulting me at all. They seem to be pretty good about assaulting old women and little scrawny boys that are all by themselves. I am neither one of those, and I don't exactly exude the persona of being a victim. So I'm not worried about that as well. But when I went on the trip, here's what happened on the trip. When I was traveling and going through the airport and I'm wearing my Make America Great hat, I lost track of how many people looked at me and gave me the thumbs up. Lots of people did that. I was walking next to a young boy, I would say about the age of 10. If I had to guess how old he was, I'd say about 10. And he was wearing a MAGA hat, Make America Great hat. And I went up to him and I said, "Hey, little man, I love your hat." And he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, I love your hat too. That's fantastic. I got mine for $5. How much did you pay for yours?" And I said, "Well, I paid more than that." And he goes, "Well, what did you think of the rally?" And I said, "Well, I didn't go to the rally. I wish I had." And he goes, "Oh, that's where I got my hat. It was $5. You should have gotten your hat at the rally, mister. You need to get one. It's a great hat." And his mother turned around and said, "He loves that thing so much I can't get him to take it off." He wouldn't take the hat off. And she said he is so psyched out about this, about the election, about Donald Trump, he will not take the hat off. Folks, there's a lot of enthusiasm out there. Do you see that enthusiasm with Joe Biden? You know, I was watching this morning, and this is election day, and I'm watching Fox News, and they're showing Joe Biden in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Now, why is he in Scranton, Pennsylvania? Because he claims that's his hometown. Now, he was born there. He went to elementary school there for a few years, and then he went to Delaware, and he's been there ever since. But you notice he doesn't talk about Delaware. He talks about Scranton, Pennsylvania being his hometown. He doesn't know a damn thing about Scranton, Pennsylvania. He doesn't care about Scranton, Pennsylvania. And for you Pennsylvanians that are listening to me, he's going to take your industry away from you and leave you unemployed. He does not give a damn about your state. If he did, he'd still be living there. He'd be one of your senators and not up in Delaware screwing that place up. Okay? He is not from Scranton, Pennsylvania. But that being said, he's in a parking lot with a megaphone talking to about 15 people. About 15 people he's talking to them, telling them how he's from Scranton and he's one of them and that's where he got his values from. Well, I don't know about you, but if I was from Scranton, Pennsylvania, I'd be a little pissed off about that because you look at his values where he's taking money from China, from Russia, from Uzbekistan, from Kazakhstan, from the Ukraine. He's on the take with all of these different countries. And yet he wants to tell you people in Pennsylvania, particularly Scranton, that that is where he learned his values. Did you hear him say that? Go look it up. He's saying he learned how to be that way by growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Well, I would be pissed off if I was you guys. I really would. And he's going to gut your state, and he's going to be taking your industry from you. I'm just speaking the truth. Folks, I'm not here to impress or depress. I'm here to express what's going on. You can look it up yourself and listen to him on his megaphone talking about this. Now, on the flip side of that, have you been watching these rallies that President Trump is at? He did 6 yesterday, folks. He did 6 rallies. Can you believe that? And you understand he's still president of the United States. So he's the leader of the free world, doing that every day, and then doing 6 rallies. Now, for any of you that do public speaking on occasion, and I have done public speaking for a living, teaching down at the academy for 6.5 years, I know what it's like to be on my feet and speaking for 6 to 8 straight hours a day. It is brutal on your body. It is brutal on your voice. And this man is in his 70s, and he does it all day. And from what I could tell, his energy level may have been higher on his 6th appearance than it was on the 1st appearance. It seemed like his energy was building throughout the day. Folks, that is amazing. That is superhuman. And did you see the crowds? The crowds are phenomenal. They're large, 30,000 people they're estimating at these things, at each one of them. You know, he's got the energy. And I believe that he deeply, deeply cares about this country because he sees what will happen if he does not get reelected. Now, I've told many of you before, and I'm just going to repeat this story again. He was not my guy in the primaries back in the 2016 election. I voted for Ted Cruz, and I love Ted Cruz. Don't get me wrong. And Ted Cruz, if you're listening to this broadcast, don't think that I don't like you. I love you, brother. You know I do. I really do. And you're the guy that I voted for. However, I am a party person, and I knew that if I did not vote for Trump, then the alternative was absolutely unacceptable. And let's just be honest. I've never voted for a Democrat in my life, and I will never. I don't split my ticket. I'm straight down the line because for those of you that split your ticket, I really don't understand why you do that. I don't know why you would put somebody into one of the higher offices like President, the Senate, or the House, and then vote somebody from a different party in one of the lower offices, basically hamstringing the person that you really wanted in on the main ticket. I don't understand that. Maybe one of you can call in and explain that to me, but it makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. However, that being said, I voted for Ted Cruz, thinking, well, you know, Trump was the lesser of two evils, and I voted for him. But it was only in the ensuing or the following next 4 years that the extent of the corruption came out. I mean, I was actually stunned. I mean, I live in Washington. I work in Washington. I'm aware of a lot of the corruption that goes on, but the extent of it really stunned me, and where some of the corruption was coming from. For example, at the executive levels of the FBI, that stunned me. I mean, I knew that some of it was there, but Comey really turned into this snake that we all know that he is now. But I have to remind you, in history, we know what James Comey is now. But if you remember at the time, he was fired, I believe it was May of 2017. It was definitely 2017. I think it was in May that James Comey was fired. And you have to remember, at the time, James Comey was very popular. He was very respected. He was very liked, both in the FBI, outside the FBI, and then certainly over on Capitol Hill, they respected him quite a bit. But then the truth came out. And the reason why I'm bringing this story up is because Trump really showed some kahunas. He really showed a backbone in firing Comey, because Comey needed to be fired. But Trump did it when it was a very, very unpopular thing for him to do. And it was very unpopular inside the FBI for probably 6 or more months after that. And it needed to be done. Knowing what we know now, I don't think there's many people that don't think that Comey should have been fired, but you have to look at history through the lens of when history was made. And he did what he did at the time when Comey was very popular, and that was a very gutsy thing to do. And then later he called out John Brennan and James Clapper and all the other fools that are out there. Again, those people were very popular at the time, but Donald Trump knew what they were, who they were. He called them out, and hopefully they will pay a price, and they will be indicted, most of them, I'm hoping, after this election. But, I don't believe that Ted Cruz, as much as I love Ted Cruz, could have ever withstood the beating, the absolute beatdown that Donald Trump faced after making these decisions, and just the withering attacks that he's been under worldwide. It takes an incredible human being to be able to do that. And looking back, when you look at the 20 or so candidates that were vying for the Republican nomination, Donald Trump now, I believe, is the only one that could have withstood the withering attacks that he did. So I am all in, for him now, where I was kind of like half in back in 2016. I'm all in now. I'm a staunch believer in the man, and I do believe that we are at that precipice, or we are at the crossroads right now of the direction of this country. We really do have the soul of the country. Do you want to go down the road of socialism, maybe even Marxism, or do you want liberty, freedom, and Constitution? I know where I stand. So I think it's people are starting to see it. And I'll just wrap up this particular episode with a story that happened to me yesterday afternoon, because one of the things about Republicans is we don't really live with our politics on our sleeves, so to speak. We aren't the people that put the signs out in front of our house. We don't put the Trump flags up. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people that do that, but by and large, we're not in your face about our politics. And it's an interesting dynamic, because I know where I live, I see Biden signs everywhere, but I'm in Northern Virginia. You have to understand, I live behind enemy lines. But, people are really in your face about it. And, those that are conservative and those that support Trump don't really make a big scene about it. But I met a friend yesterday to get some coffee at a Wegmans here in Northern Virginia, and I got a cookie and I got a cup of coffee, and I went up to the counter, and the girl behind the counter came up to me, and just to describe her, she was all tattooed up. She had a nose ring in her nose, and blue. She had dyed her hair blue. So I'm just looking at the outside of the package, so to speak, just making my mental assessment that this is probably somebody that's going to look at my hat, which was a Make America Great hat. I think she's looking at my hat, and she's giving me the look like I thought I was going to get a chastising, and I realized that maybe I should have taken the hat off before I got the coffee, because I'm assuming she's just going to spit in the coffee and then give it to me. But you know what she did? She looked at me and she said, "I love your hat. This is for free." And she gave me the cookie and the coffee for free because I had the Keep America Great hat on. And I was walking out. She said it again. She said, I hope we have a great day tomorrow. He has to win. And so I was just stunned because, when I looked at the woman, I just thought there's no way in the world that she's a conservative, but she was. Folks, that's the energy that Donald Trump has right now, and I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. It's going to be a long day. I might actually do another broadcast later on today. I'm that excited. Folks, I actually went to bed really late last night, and I woke up early. No alarm clock, no nothing. 5 o'clock a.m. I was up. I was ready to go. I'm like a little kid on Christmas morning. I'm excited. Looking for my present. And what's the present going to be? The present is going to be Donald J. Trump being elected again as President of the United States. So as always, guys, this is Mark Vines. I'm glad you joined me today. Check out the Facebook page. Give me a like. Give me a follow. Spread this information to all of your liberal friends far and wide across the globe. This is your vaccination that will cure you of any disease. It is FDA approved. Of course, we wouldn't give you a vaccine that wasn't FDA approved, would we? No, we wouldn't do that. It's been tested on lab rats and even human beings. Well, we tested on monkeys first, then human beings. But this is your inoculation against liberalism, and it will make you a conservative, which is what you want to be anyway, because that's the right way to go. Guys, looking forward to it. We'll see how this goes today, but I'm really, really excited about this. Can you tell? Talk with you soon. This is Mark Vines, and I'm out.